a really, a really important thing is focusing on data. So not only kind of understanding kind of tech terms, titles, searching for different universities, et cetera, really focusing on data is going to be very important too as well. So there's this website called Justice Map, and they've broken down census data based on, every 4 years they have people take that census, and they've broken it down by race and gender. So as a quick example, if you're looking for African Americans, look at that. It's going to be right here. So if you're sourcing and like, hey, we're based in Montana, I mean, just it kind of blows your mind in a
Right.
sense. So it really says, okay, like maybe I should expand my search. Maybe I should search in this kind of southeastern area of the United States to kind of find some really great talent per se. So it's pretty eye-opening for that. So so that's something that you could kind of even present to your hiring manager if that's a top priority. If diversity is going to be very important for your sourcing goals, just recognizing that looking at population data is going to be really important. So and Hispanic, Latinx, you can see kind of they're kind of more kind of western area, southwestern area too as well. So so people are out there, but maybe like focusing on different locations where odds are there's going to be a big group of people in that location is going to be important. So yeah, any kind of questions on that, I guess, at all?
Yeah, this one, I think this is one of the tools that I found in your book that I wasn't even
Yeah.
aware existed. Um, are you finding that? I mean, I'm thinking of some use case scenario for this, right? You may be sourcing for a role, and let's say the hiring manager says, "Hey, I want 50% of the candidate flow to be this specific demographic." Using a tool like this would give you data to inform them that, hey, look, we're not even able to achieve that because the addressable market is much lower than that. If you want that demographic, then you need to go to a different location. So I could see this being something that you could use as part of your strategy when you're being realistic about it. Have you seen any people use that?
Exactly. And that's something that where it's like, wow, we should probably open another location. Maybe we should focus on Atlanta, Georgia, or Florida, or New York. So yeah, I would say it's very beneficial, and it's something that if you haven't done it before, focusing on population data is something that maybe at your company it's overlooked, and they're like, you need to focus on this certain group of people, but you really need to kind of present the data, be like, if we can find them, but maybe we can open up to remote candidates, or opening up to different offices, locations, etc. Just using the data it's just gonna make you more successful in that way.
And this is a
Free.
free site.
Yeah, it's a free tool. It's great. I've listed it in my presentation too as well. I've got other ones too that do a very similar thing that are free, like ZipWho does the same sort of thing. So it gives you kind of neighborhood population data based on census information too as well. So you can look it up in your location too as well. So maybe you want to focus more locally. It breaks it down by different counties in your region too. So it's another great addition if you want to kind of break out, okay, like where should we put our location, or where should I search for people in this particular zip code too as well.
Yeah, no, this is great. And I know we're talking about the sourcing, but I tell you, your book is packed with these tools, packed with how they're used. It's got great examples. I think somebody having the book and watching this replay is going to benefit
Ah,
from.
Cody, appreciate that. And it's eye-opening just looking at the data and looking at all the communities, all the different strings that are available. There's just a lot of good talent online, and you can find them now. So which is great to say. So, but I really appreciate that too as well. Another one, City Data, city-data.com, same sort of thing. It breaks down different locations by counties, by different cities, different schools, what locations different schools are in. I mean, it's great. Lots of great information. Just another great resource to have as well. So using all three of these, you should really be able to kind of paint a picture. Okay, here's the location I should source in. Here's the kind of the top companies in those locations. Here's the top schools. Using all that information will just make you a better sourcer.
Yeah, no, it's really, really helpful. And you can build, I mean, you can build your diversity sourcing strategy on a shoestring, really, with these tools. This will help you.
Right. For free too, which is great to say.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of I'll end with kind of job description keyword optimization. So really it's important when you are kind of writing a job description to make sure that you have the appropriate sort of wording and kind of make sure they're optimized in that way. So and really what's kind of the key factors that you're trying to kind of write in a job description? First off, just a clear understanding of your company culture is going to be very important. Also defining kind of an employee experience, what's it like working there, and then what sort of project or team would you be kind of working on or supporting in this job or role? So those are kind of the core things that I recommend when you're kind of thinking of writing a job description. But there's a hack on Microsoft Word where if you go to your editor, you could copy and paste your job description, go to kind of your settings, go to your home tab and click editor. And then under settings, you would click proofing. And then it would click under kind of grammar refinement, and you could figure out kind of the words that might not be great in a sense. So age bias, culture bias, ethnic slurs, gender bias, gender specific languages, racial bias, and other things. It's going to kind of tell you kind of the wording, how to kind of change it. It's a free resource within Microsoft Word that you can kind of use to your advantage. There's other ones that are out there, but this was kind of eye-opening for me too, because I found this hack
Yeah.
late last summer, and it just helps you optimize your job descriptions, but also you could use this for outreach too as well. If you're creating kind of a recruiter template and you want to make sure that it's optimized and you're saying kind of the right wording, this is a great free tool that you can kind of use within Microsoft Word, and everyone has Microsoft Word too as well.
Yeah, this is really powerful. And I think this is something that people that, you're on a budget again. You don't have the funds to go and buy one of the other platforms that might be out there. This is a great way to do that. I'm glad you brought this up. I wasn't even aware it did all this. I mean, I knew it do some other stuff, but this is a great place to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And really, I could go on a little bit more, but it's really up to you. These were more kind of generic productivity sourcing tools too. So, either we could kind of cut it off here, or I could keep going. It's really up to you too as well.
Hey, I think it's okay if you've got the time. I think it
Yeah.
would be beneficial to talk through some of these. These are going to be some great tools, right? That we can, categorize by topic, and I think it's going to be helpful.
Yeah, great. So kind of, I wanted to kind of, I always like to talk about talent sourcing tools in my presentation. So I really wanted to focus on what's trending right now, and what are people talking about too as well. So yeah, it's kind of a great area that I always like to enjoy kind of presenting on. So there's a really new custom search, Google custom search engine called Free People Search, and you would go to just freepeoplesearch.com, and you're able to kind of include your string, and it's going to give you different ways to kind of x-ray. So you don't need to do any like site or x-ray. You just put in the job title, location, and it does that for you per se. And then you're able to kind of find different lists of profiles. So on LinkedIn to Twitter, to GitHub, to Dribble. Yeah, it's a great free extension. I've connected with the founder too as well. So he's created some really good custom search engine tools within this search engine, and yeah, I definitely recommend downloading that one as
That's
well.
nice.
Another one that's pretty new is called Saleshandy, and it tracks all your notifications. So open rates, It tracks replies. They've got a free as well as paid version too, but I really love it. So when you are sending out a message, you're going to know if anyone clicks on your email, to at what time did they click on it, how many times did they click on it, and also it got delivered to as well. So if you're kind of on a shoestring budget, and you're really just focusing on emails, mail merging, Saleshandy is a fantastic extension. It works on Outlook and also Gmail too as well. And we've got Outlook at my company, but I love it. I use it every single day as well. So
Oh, that's great. It's a great tool to have, and I like the fact that you're showing things that you don't have to have a huge budget to go do this, right? I think in this business, in the effort to increase diversity and inclusion in the workforce, the more people that know how to do this, the better. And so,
right.
by opening the door to some affordable tools, you're going to have a big impact on the people who can go out and do this sourcing work.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well said too. And there's other ones that are free too. So Email Tracker, Banana Tag, Streak for Gmail, it's free as well as paid, depending on which one you have. So for Outlook, I always recommend Saleshandy, but like Streak for Gmail or Banana Tag are great options too as well, and pretty inexpensive as well. So if you've got a really small budget, definitely recommend taking a look at those as well. So another one for is kind of scheduling. I know a lot of people are really focused on this, especially now with kind of when you're doing phone screens and kind of automating this sections. I use a tool called Appointlet, and they have a free as well as paid version. And the paid version is only $8 a month, and it's great. So you would just, here's my availability, here's when to schedule out my calendar. I mean, there's other ones. Candly is another one, but for this, it's easy. It syncs up with Outlook, Gmail, or Mac, and I've had great success with this one too as well. So I definitely recommend, if you're doing lots of phone screens every day, definitely recommend purchasing kind of a calendar tool like this.
Man, it saves you so much time having a calendaring tool.
Every day. So much time. I mean, it's incredible just the amount of time it takes to kind of like schedule someone. So if you just say, here's my, mark whatever dates work, and
Yeah,
it saved me so much time.
no, that's exactly right. I fully agree. I mean, that frees up some time so that now you can go source some more, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. Well
That's
said. Yeah, and there's other tools that I recommend. So if you want to automate like LinkedIn outreach, I recommend a tool called My Robot Works. And basically, either you can send connection requests or people that you're already connected with, and you could automate kind of follow-ups. So every certain amount of time, you could reach out to them. You could kind of create a tailored recruiter message with a follow-up and just say, hey, how's it going? I want to kind of reconnect with you. And they think it's real too. So I do kind of automated kind of LinkedIn outreaching now, and it's just saved me so much time. So and then you could schedule the time, and that sort of thing is going to be very important too. So timing and everything else when you are kind of scheduling that is ideal. So I've had a lot of good success with this one. It's around $50 a month, but really a lot of good features too as well. And you won't get locked out of LinkedIn with this
right.
tool. A lot of people get afraid of
I'm just
LinkedIn
going to ask,
jail.
are we going to jail on that one?
Yeah,
But
but overall, really good features. It's definitely a tool that's pretty cutting edge too as well. Some other tools, if you're focusing on kind of the tech side of things, Developer DB does a great job. It tells you kind of the tech stack. So if you are sourcing on GitHub, Stack Overflow, InJoCo, it's going to tell you kind of their tech stack of what sort of reps they're working on, what sort of languages they're touching. So then you could use that to your advantage when you reach out to someone over an email to say, hey, I'm really impressed by your tech stack of kind of the projects that you've led or worked on. So that's really important for Developer DB. And then same thing with Octo HR, does the same thing. It tells you kind of their languages of what they're working on. And it also sometimes it gives you their email address too as well. But overall, it's really helped me improve when I reach out to kind of tech talent just calling out their tech stack of what they're working on too as well. They really value that input too as well. And there's more kind of automating kind of email automation plus email automation. Webtree is a newer one where it automates you can do up to like 4 or 5 different sequences on email or in mail. So you can stick it up both ways. You could send them a message either way, and you could select the template that you want to use, and really good features and pretty cutting edge technology too as well. So definitely recommend doing a demo of Webtree. Another one too is HireFlow. It does the same sort of thing. You can automate your outreaching. It pops up on the right side of your screen. You can automate your email messaging, in-mail messaging, and everything gets synced up too as well, which is really amazing in that sense. And then another one too, which I don't really talk about, is Source Whale. Very similar to HireFlow and Webtree.
Okay.
Same sort of features, just kind of depending on your budget too. So if you want to start out pretty small, then I would recommend MyRobotWorks. But if you have a little bit more of a budget, then Webtree, HireFlow would be kind of my suggestions with that too as well. So and I listed out kind of my final slide here, just different talent sourcing tools. So I know I talked about this at the beginning of my presentation, but there's just so many different areas to kind of cover. And I could go on and on and on about different areas. It gets so advanced. So, but if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me on LinkedIn or go to my website, wizardsourcer.com, and take a look at my tools list too. So I've clearly defined all the best talent sourcing tools that are online that are available as well. And yeah, that's kind of my presentation. Would you have any kind of questions at all?
Well, I think, one of the things that I think is key. This is some amazing information. But when someone decides, hey, look, I'm going to put some time on my calendar to do diversity sourcing. You talked a little bit about this, but how should they begin even considering this?
So I would say, if it's something that leadership and your team really wants to focus on, then really you need to invest the time that it takes to kind of source and find leads. So investing, 2-3 hours a week to doing kind of, I call it talent sourcing sprints, where you're just solely focused on maybe 2 or 3 recs, different locations, and you're just going after diverse leads. And that's kind of what I do every week, and kind of compiling that, tracking that, have a sourcing tracker document, and really focusing on that. So, so then you can go back to leadership like, hey, I dedicated this time to source on these roles. Here's the number of phone screens that I've done. Here's a number of submittals, and then you can kind of track, okay, where are they falling off in your process? Was it just reach outs, or was it, did they get to a final round or phone screen and they didn't pass those areas, or did they pass and get an offer, but decided not to take the offer? So tracking all that data will be really important, and it will showcase kind of a picture of what's happening at your company too. So where are they falling off? What's happening in your funnel?
Right.
So for me, my funnels is, I'm good at prospecting, getting people excited, getting them to take a phone screen. But a lot of people, we've got such a high tech bar, so it's hard to get them to pass a tech phone screen. So I'm really good at like finding people, but getting them to pass and go to kind of a final round is a challenge. So so just recognizing that, having the data too, is going to be important.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you sharing that. I know this is going to be valuable to anybody that watches this. I definitely want to encourage people. Your book, A Guide to Diversity Talent Sourcing, is one of the best ones out there, and I've been involved in this for a couple of decades. And so anybody that doesn't have that book should probably go and get it. And it's going to cover some of the stuff that we covered today, right? How do you, go out and search for diverse candidates? How do you create that diversity talent mapping plan? Covering some stuff on Boolean search string examples like you shared today, and then just some of the sourcing tools that people would use out there, and then some best practices, right? And then even on the branding, I know we didn't cover the branding pieces today, but would love to try to get you back for another segment to talk about some of the other tools around branding and outreach and some of the messaging practices that you've got in place.
That'd be great.
Yeah, super. Well, Jonathan, I can't thank you enough. I want to be respectful of your time. I think this is, everybody that sees this is going to be pretty thrilled with it. Any parting words on what people should do as a kind of call to action and next step?
No, I would say thanks so much for the opportunity. If you guys have any questions about kind of the tools that you learned about today, reach out to me, or definitely take a look at my book on Amazon.
Fantastic. All right, Jonathan Kidder, amazing. Appreciate it.